So you just received your battle-ready katana from Mini Katana. Congrats on your new purchase, you are now a part of the Mini Katana community. To stay up to date with everything new that we have coming out, please check out our socials down below. And if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns about your purchase, please email us at hello@minikatana.com. Today we're going to be cleaning our katana because katanas can get daggum dirty, and nobody wants a daggum dirty katana. Whether you're using your katana for display or practical use like light cutting, it is very important to keep it clean to help prevent it from damage and rust. How often should you clean your katana? Well, this depends on where you live. If you live somewhere dry, you can clean it every 3 to 4 months. And if you live somewhere very humid, you're gonna wanna clean it every 1 to 2 months, as well as right after every time you use it. So what do you need to clean your katana? Well, you can get this beautiful katana cleaning kit from our website at minikatana.com. And we're not just making this video to upsell you our product. We actually do want you to take very good care of your katana so that it lasts for a very, very long time. So what all comes in this cleaning kit? First off, we have our blade oil to protect from humidity and rust. And then we have our Uchiko ball. This is a silk ball filled with stone powder that helps remove oil and scratches from the blade. And then we have a Makuganuki. This is a tiny hammer used to remove the pegs from the blade so that you can deep clean it, but we're not gonna do that today, so I'm gonna set this aside. And then we've also got 2 extra Mekugis if you ever need them, but we're not gonna need those today, so I'll also set that aside. And then you've got this tiny plastic container. This is to store your oil rags after you're done using them so that you can reuse them for future cleanings. And last, we have 3 Nagogami cloths. These are usually made from rice paper, and they're used to clean off oil, dust, and powder from your blade. This is everything we're going to be using today. We have our Ichiko ball, and then our blade oil, our cleaning cloths, and then our little storage container for our oil cloth at the end. So let's get started. Step 1, we're going to carefully remove the blade from the saya. Then I'm going to use my nifty mini katana stand that every katana comes with to put this on. I'm gonna put it right here. And step 2, we're gonna take one of our cleaning cloths and carefully remove any old dirt or oil. So you're gonna wanna carefully pinch the cloth around the blade and start from the bottom and go to the top. And you're gonna wanna make sure that you keep the blade facing away from you while you're doing this. And you might be surprised at how dirty your katana actually was. Look at how much dirt came off of that. Look at how gross that is. This is why we need to clean our katanas. So I'm just gonna wipe it a few more times just to make sure that we get everything off. Remembering to keep that blade facing away from us. And I'm gonna set this cloth aside. And for step 3, we're gonna be using our Ichiko ball. And again, this is used to remove any more oil that is left over and also to help fill in any little light scratches that are on the blade. So I'm gonna hold the blade while I do this just because I find that it is easier. So what you do is very lightly tap along the blade. Just get a nice even coat of powder. And I'm gonna set this down so I can flip the blade. And then we're gonna do the same to the other side, just lightly tapping it, getting a nice even coat of powder. And then I'm gonna go across the top lightly. So do the sides and then the top. And once you've got a nice even layer of powder on the blade, you're gonna take another cloth and clean it just like we did the first time, this time using a fresh new cloth. Starting at the bottom and wiping towards the top. Again, make sure the blade is facing away from you. Okay, and then you can do that a few times using a fresh section of cloth each time, just until you have removed all the powder from the blade. And this step doesn't really need to be done more than once or twice a year. It just really depends on how much you use your katana. So right now the blade has no oil on it, and you should be really careful not to touch it because just the oil on your fingers can cause it to rust. So we're gonna wanna get this sword oil on as soon as possible. And that brings us to step 4, applying the sword oil. What you're gonna wanna do is apply just a small amount right onto the cleaning cloth. All right, and just like the first 2 times, we're gonna apply this from the bottom up, keeping the blade away from us. And be careful around this area. We don't want to gunk that up with a bunch of oil. We do want to apply a little bit on there, but not too much. You're just going to want to get a nice and even coat on there. You can go Go over it as many times as you need to make sure that there's a nice even coat. And just be careful when you're oiling around the hibaki. You don't want too much oil buildup in there. And if you'd like to save your last cleaning cloth, this is really the only one you should be saving. You can store that in that little container that we mentioned earlier so that the oil on it doesn't dry out. And you can use this again later to re-oil your blade. And step 5, you're gonna wanna check one last time to make sure that there is no dry spots on the blade and that there's just a nice even coat, and make sure everything looks good, keeping the blade facing away from you. And then you're gonna wanna resheath your blade. And there we go, we are all done. So now I'm gonna show you how to fit everything back in this little box. First, you're gonna get your Ichiko ball and put it back in the plastic, and then you're gonna wanna put it in there like so. And next we're gonna take our little Makukanugi hammer and disassemble it just by unscrewing the top. And you're gonna wanna put this little piece down here in the bottom right corner. And then this part goes right under the Ichiko ball. And next you're gonna wanna get your little plastic container with your oiled cloth in it and put it right here at the bottom left side. And then your sword oil goes right here. And lastly, you can put your mekugi right here next to the oil, and that is it. Now we're gonna quickly go over some things that you should not do with your katana. First off, you should never use any harsh cleaners on your katana. This can damage and rust the blade. You really just wanna use katana cleaning kit stuff. Also, you're never gonna wanna touch the blade with your fingers, especially when you are re-oiling, because the oil on your hands can hurt the blade, and the blade can definitely hurt you. And last, never clean a katana if you are distracted or you are not feeling well, especially if your katana is sharp. Now that you know how to properly clean your katana, feel free to share that with us on our Instagram and our Twitter at Mini Katana Store, as well as on our TikTok at mini.katana by using the hashtag MiniKatanaCare. And once again, if you're in need of a cleaning kit, check ours out in the description below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Mini Katana content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.